This is the message to the guy that was sitting next to us in the cinema that said Martin Freeman was a pointless character. Stop watching movies, you imbecile.
Hello and welcome back to the Grifford Show, where you can join us for another big movie review. Today's film we're going to be reviewing will be Black Panther, and Josh will give you more.
Black Panther is the last standalone Marvel movie before Avengers Infinity War, and it picks up immediately after Captain America Civil War. The new king of Wakanda, T'Challa, played by Chadwick Boseman, must return to his technologically advanced home in order to succeed the throne after his father's death. However, when Eric Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, and Ulysses S. Claw, played by Andy Serkis, conspire to destroy Wakanda, it's up to the Black Panther to stop them.
As with Marvel movies, there's a lot more positives than negatives for this film. What stood out for you as a positive?
Well, immediately it's the fact that this is probably one of the most unique Marvel films that there's been since, I'd probably say, Guardians of the Galaxy. Just straight from the off, you're already invested into Wakandan culture when they're doing the whole kind of exposition of how Wakanda came to be and why it's so technologically advanced, and I found that very interesting, like, straight away.
Yeah, I mean, for the fact it's part of this massive expanded universe, and the fact that it's a new story starting up essentially, which was sort of touched upon in Civil War, like you said, it's unique. It's something different. I mean, it's not the same as like Iron Man, Captain America, and that's something that I really liked about it.
And as with many Marvel movies, there's always great returning characters as well as newer, more memorable characters, and I think there was quite a lot in this movie.
For example, Letitia Wright, who played T'Challa's younger sister Shuri in it.
Yeah.
Her and Chadwick Boseman had great chemistry. You genuinely believed they were brother and sister. They had the banter and everything.
Yeah, and she probably had like most of the funny moments anyway. But for me, my favourite was Denai Guerrera, who played Akaye, and she was excellent. Like normally in Walking Dead, where she plays Michonne, she's she's quite a miserable character. So it was nice to see her kind of have fun with her role, and she provided a lot of comedy, and she also kicked a lot of butt. So it was quite entertaining to watch that.
Yeah, I think also going back to the chemistry, Lupita Nyong'o, can't remember her character's name, but she was the love
Nakia.
Nakia, that's it. Yeah, saved me there. She played the love interest of T'Challa, and I think, again, with chemistry, you generally believe they had this long-term relationship with each other before it became like official.
I think the chemistry all round was just on point for the entire film, and also a great returning character was Andy Serkis. But Andy Serkis is just great, and I mean, he's just awesome, isn't he? I think he stole a lot of the kind of scenes, and for me, we'll get onto the villain later, but he was a better villain in my eyes than Michael B. Jordan, but I think Evan's going to disagree with me.
We'll get onto that later. There was a lot of great action scenes in this movie, as expected with Black Panther. What really stood out for a good action scene for you?
Well, if you watched our top 10, you know a little bit of our thoughts about it, but if you haven't, we'll link it in the description below. But in that video we mentioned that Ryan Coogler took inspiration from the Kingsman movies, Creed, as well as African martial arts for his fight scenes and action scenes. And that was definitely on display during probably my favourite scene was the casino kind of fight scene. It made it look like one shot, and then it kind of leads into a really exhilarating car chase, which was awesome. And then as well as that, there's a great battle scene at the end, and I think the action scenes accompanied by the look and feel of the world made for some really like thrilling moments.
The casino scene was very reminiscent of the church scene from Kingsman, and also the visually stunning animation of the fight themselves. Clearly it's a computer animated one, but you completely goes over your head because it captures you in it. But it leads on to the overall look of the film, which I thought was beautiful. I mean, you got the vibranium ore in the mountain, which was just beautiful. You got great scenery of Africa, which in general Africa's a beautiful country as it is.
Evan is fully aware that Africa is not a country, but is a continent. Please forgive him for this moment of stupidity. Many thanks, The Grifford Show.
Plus, even in Korea, the whole cityscape was just great to look at.
It did a really good job of like immersing you in the world, and as well as that, the soundtrack, again, as we mentioned in the top 10, was produced by Kendrick Lamar, and it's probably one of the best soundtracks of the year. I mean, I know we're only in February, but I can already tell this is going to be a really good one. And I just think it gives the film like a distinct identity, kind of like Guardians of the Galaxy did with their soundtrack. It was a bit of a wacky idea for a movie, you know, like a set in space kind of thing, but it had a old school kind of like classic rock soundtrack, and it just really made the film kind of quirkier than it was. And I think Black Panther has done the same with that, because obviously, like we said, it's a very different movie. Company with a really distinctive soundtrack gives it a really impressive identity, and I loved it.
Yeah, and I think that leads on from, you know, as you said, Guardians of the Galaxy. Even Thor Ragnarok tried it with, you know, the Immigrant Song from Led Zeppelin, and I think since it was so successful with both Guardians of the Galaxy films, it's definitely something that's being brought into Marvel, like the particular song that people recognise.
But I think it will only work for those standalone movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Panther. I don't think it would do quite the same for like an Iron Man or a Captain America movie.
Or even the Avengers.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the other things that really impressed me was the emotive scenes that the actors were able to pull off despite spending most of the time acting in front of green screens.
Yeah, you really empathise with, you know, the characters. Michael B. Jordan, as, you know, childish as his, you know, motive was, you feel and understand the reason why he's doing it. Chadwick Boseman, you go through everything he goes through, you know, and you feel what he's feeling throughout the film as well. And I just felt like you sort of went on a journey with all these characters, which, you know, made you a connection, which is obviously important when it comes to watching a film.
Exactly.
Okay, so one of the first negatives I'm going to talk about is how it seems the film spent most of its budget on the career scene, as fantastic as it was. But I think as a result, it led to the final fight between Killmonger and Black Panther being a bit, you know, so-so. It wasn't as great as it could have been.
Yeah, and I think, you know, you said they probably spent a lot of their budget on the career scene. The career scene was probably the best action part of the movie, but after that, it took too long before there was another really good action scene, which meant there was a lot of downtime, and it did kind of drag a little bit, which is quite rare for a Marvel movie, because normally I'd like to think that, well, I mean, in my opinion, in the last few Marvel movies I've watched, the pacing's better, if that makes sense. You know, there's not loads of times where you are sitting there thinking, God, you know, can something happen? Because most of the time stuff is happening. But with Black Panther, there was a lot of downtime. Now, they say a Marvel film is only as good as its villain, and for me, I was not impressed with Michael B. Jordan's Eric Killmonger. I just thought he was just a bit of a angry, bratty child the whole time. And, you know, I understood his motivation for wanting to be evil, but yeah, most of the film he's just shouting and moaning about stuff, and it's like, ugh, it just didn't stick for me. And he's not as bad as like Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy or Malekith from Thor: The Dark World, but he's nowhere near the standard of Loki or Hela in Thor: Ragnarok.
Although I kind of agree with you with the first half of the movie, where every time he talked, it was almost like he was just about to start like some angry rap. I think, you know, towards the second half of the movie, when his motivations sort of come to realisation, you know, he gets what he wants, I feel then he sort of flourished a lot more. I'm not saying he was fantastic, and it's, you know, not his best performance ever. You know, I think Creed is his best performance in any film, but I feel that he was really good once he got, you know, when he got more. I think it was the beginning, he didn't have a lot of screen time. I think that could have been a reason why he maybe didn't seem quite as great a villain. You know, there wasn't a lot of character development for him. But I feel once he had more screen time, he sort of flourished a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not on the side of people that say he's one of the best Marvel villains, because in my opinion he's not. But hey,
yeah, I wouldn't say he's the best, but I don't think he was awful.
I would say Black Panther does crack into my top 10 favourite Marvel movies. It's not quite top 5, but you know, you're not going to beat out my top 5. But that's for another list, another day. So I'm going to give Black Panther a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I really like Black Panther. I thought, you know, he's quite brave, I suppose, having a, you know, origin story, I suppose, type movie this close to, you know, Infinity War coming up, and I feel like this movie deserves a 7.5. Okay, so that was our review of Black Panther. I'm pretty sure you've seen it, so let us know what you think. If you haven't, why are you even watching this review? What's your favourite Marvel movie? Let us know in the comment section below.
And as always, don't forget to leave us a like if you enjoyed the video. And why not do us a favour and subscribe to the channel for more great movie stuff. And also click the bell notifications so you can stay up to date with every new video that we release.
And you can even follow us on social media.
I forgot about that. We're right over there. And we'll see you next time.
Movie review.
That was like the first sentence.
Wow.
Actors were, you know, quite.
You really
Empathize.
You're actually a moron.
Okay.
You're
I'm straight faced, I don't know what you're talking about.
As soon as it started, I wish I could have you saying, I don't know what you